Alright. This is a Singer clamshell pedal from a Touch and Sew 626, I believe. And when I got the machine, the pedal was in a bag. And all of the carbon discs were spilling out of it. So I opened it up. And these clamshell pedals, whatever the bottom they have on, there's a soft spot or a hole here with access to this screw. When you remove that screw, the pedal opens up like this. And the reason I discovered that all of the carbon discs were falling out of this pedal is because this bracket, which should be here, had snapped off, and the carbon pile popped out, and for whatever reason there was no retainer on this end of the column. There's this metal retainer in this end. There's no metal retainer on the far end, so all of the carbon had popped out of it because this bracket broke. So to repair this, we're going to take this bracket and I'm going to set this in place here. I'm going to super glue this bracket in place, which it looks like someone has already attempted to do. There's glue residue on here. So this pedal broke at some juncture and got super glued the first time. I'm going to super glue it again. But then, before I actually reassemble it, I'm gonna do some more reinforcement of this bracket. The super glue is just gonna be to hold it in place enough to do other work on it. So, got that in place, and I'm setting it aside for the super glue to cure, and all of the carbon discs that were in this pedal falling out and loose. I'm gonna clean up, and that carbon pile was so loose and it was sparking so much that the buttons out of it on the ends are really burnt, and there's a lot of burnt and damaged discs. And I think that when that bracket broke and the pedal was semi-functional but sort of losing some discs, I think somebody did not do anything to fix it. So a lot of these carbon discs are a bit burnt as well. And they were using it as it was losing carbon discs into the bottom of the pedal, until it finally stopped functioning at all and only became an on-off switch. And I don't know if they continued to use it while it was on an on-off switch only, or what, because I got this machine without any real history to it. But we're gonna lay all these discs out. I had them sloshing in a bit of alcohol and to make sure they're degreased and everything. And then I'm going to get some Q-tips and clean the inside barrel of this. Actually, I'm not going to clean the inside of this because it's just going to get full of carbon again. But we'll put Are these buttons the same size? Yep, these buttons are the same size. So we'll put the first button in against the retainer that's still in here, and I'll drop all these in place and tap them, and then I'm tapping the side of the barrel here to make sure that these flop in flat every time I drop one in. It's very hard to drop multiple discs into here without having them get stuck vertically. So I don't really try because I'm not able to get them all in there flat the way I want. Alright, I don't know how visible it is down the tube, however, I dropped all the carbon discs in there, and that's how far they are from the end of the tube. So this machine has been losing carbon discs, and they dropped all over out of this pedal for quite some time. I'm gonna have to get my stash of spares out to finish filling this tube up, so that when we put the second button back in, it stays out at the end here. Okay, I got out my stash of extra discs here, and gonna finish filling this tube up. Alright, getting close. And then I need a solution for holding this button in the other end here, since that I have no idea what happened to the metal retaining clip that used to be in here. And I think we'll put a couple more in here. Perfect. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is try to trim this rubber grommet to pop in the end there. If I had an O-ring that I thought was exactly the right size, I would slip that into here instead, but I don't think I have an O-ring that's just right for this. So I'm gonna have to cut this whole rubber grommet down into
the shape I'm gonna try. Alright, well,
about as far down as that rubber grommet goes on the side of this, so we're gonna excellent. And I'm gonna put a dab of super glue around the edge of this rubber to hold it in. And now, with the super glue in place, I'm going to get some other glue and epoxy and strengthen around this broken part. So once I have that done, I will clean this up and put it back together, and then I'll have a spare pedal. As you can see, I just found some bits of plastic and cut them to fit the spaces around this spot that broke, so that in addition to the super glue, there is something physically blocking this from getting pushed over and broken again. The glue on this rubber has set, so we can just drop this in, and I guess I overfilled this a little bit, but it's sealed now, so let me adjust the clamp here. I'm gonna bend our rear contact tab a little bit so that okay. Now bend that contact tab back. Now, there we go. It's not quite far enough. Let me there we go. So there's a little gap on the pile here, and when you push down to get power, it starts to push in, and then it applies pressure until I will, however, there. Narrow that gap up a teeny bit. Now we've got some good there. And there's a clip here, and this is the main clip in the body that just holds this carbon pile down in place. So I'm gonna adjust this gap, and then this pedal will be ready to go in the stash when I need a pedal.